Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I am here today with Tuesday 10. So for those of you who are new, Tuesday 10 is kind of my chatty long making video that I do most weeks, where I take 10 things out of my stash of papers and collected things, and we just keep on making until we use them all up. So I have today, this is a picture from an old book, and it has this really lovely kind of round image on it. A page from a bird book. Both sides are awesome, so that'll be a challenge. This is pulled from like a little book, and I just love this Dutch Dreams kind of shop. It's like an ice cream shop. This is an image of an old postcard. A trillium. This is actually an old book, like with a Valentine on it. Is this one page? Yeah, one page. So I wanted to use that because it's really cute. I love this little Cupid in like a kind of like in a can-shaped outfit. A little children's book page with some birds. Another bird book. Apparently it's a bird book kind of day. This is pulled out of a Stampington and Company magazine, and I thought we'd do something with her. And then this is something I made a while ago from a map that Mary Ellen sent me during Round Robin, I think. And I want to make use of it in smaller pieces. Initially I was going to keep it as one big piece and then just kind of fold the whole thing up. But I think I just really like how it turned out, so I want to use it for ephemera making. Also, please ignore my slightly yellowy looking hands. I was doing some goldenrod dyeing work this morning. Goldenrod dye is very, very, very yellow. So, shall we begin? Okay, let me think. What do I want to do first here? So we're having a snowy February so far. It's been very snowy, which is actually quite nice because we've been doing some tobogganing and stuff. And we had our first home from school snow day of the year, and that was kind of fun. Let's tear this into a few pieces that I can use. I just use these guidelines as where I'm going to tear it. Do that again, maybe? Yeah, those would make nice sections. So Valentine's Day I had a nice day. We went on a little road trip as a family and went out and had a nice lunch. And what else did we do? We went on a really nice walk in the snow. And that was fun. Actually, I'm going to keep this as a trifold. That's fun. Okay, so we've got those bits to begin. Now, let me... Probably just going to make something with this one first. Valentine, oh Valentine, curl your locks as I do mine, two before and two behind, good morrow to you, Valentine. Mr. is Bister and Betsy his sister resolve upon giving a treat, so letters they write, their friends to invite to their home in Great Chamomile Street. That's really cute. Wow. I wish I had found this like a couple weeks ago, but it was just a random pull from the bin today. But we will make some fun use of it. Also, I have some packaging I need to use up. Random packaging. Separate this here. This one's particularly tough to cut through. Okay, that one's going to be too small anyways, but I'll keep it here. Because we will try to use these up. I got some paper packs in the mail, and the person who shipped them to me used these boxes to keep them rigid. If you're wondering where these came from, I haven't been eating cupcakes in the studio or any of that. It's just kind of a way to keep things nice and rigid when you're shipping. Okay. Could also make a book cover from this quite easily. I think we've done that before here, though. Okay. Yeah. Oopsie. My glue just decided to take a nosedive off of the desk for some reason. I did a little bit of thrifting yesterday. I didn't find a whole lot, but I did find some nice kind of basic things. My daughter found some art supplies. I haven't been doing a lot of thrifting lately. I've just been kind of making from what I've got. Let's cut this out. I don't really think this really is going to need a lot. I honestly just like it as the vintage Valentine page that it is. Came out of an old book of like all these different verses, and it was all blue illustrations and writing with these nice red frames. It's just a very pretty book. Okay, so we'll set that aside. Then let's do a little planning about what to do with some of the rest of this. It's kind of a little eclectic today. I like that bird. That's a cute bird too. But I think I'll go with this one. Although I think I could cut both out if I wanted to. This one just doesn't particularly serve a purpose to me, so I think I'm just going to take this and put it in my scraps and use it as collage fodder for just like making collage boards. So I'll go with this piece of that paper. Then I'm going to grab, I've just got this book sort of sitting over here to the side that I'm planning to use. It's an interesting illustration. I only really like this bottom part though, but it's okay. I'm going to use this to make a tag with. When I was dyeing paper this morning, I was picking up a bit of my dye with this paper, so it's quite lovely. And it's just an old book page. I might just get the very bottom off of here because then that'll fit better on here. Okay. So what's new and exciting in my life? Let me think. Work has been crazy. We've been restructuring and stuff, and that's still not done. I think a lot of the corporate world's going through that kind of nonsense with a ever-changing and harder to operate in kind of world. I don't know. So that's just been like lingering kind of lingering ick in the back of my mind that I'm trying to just deal with. Nothing too bad happening to me, just change, you know, ever-present change. But what I'm hoping out of all of it is that it will leave me with less to do, because I've been kind of doing the job of basically 3 people for some time now. And so the person who is kind of the decision maker, a couple of levels above me, basically, you know, in delivering these changes to me verbally, she said, like, I just think you have way too much on your plate, that, you know, it's been too unfair for too long, kind of. So she wants to see more balance, and I suspect that she's identifying that, you know, it needs to change because I'm working too many hours and it's a little crazy. I think she kind of felt a little bad for me, to be honest. But it's okay. It's a weird situation. And I'm just trying to, like, hang in there until all the change is done, and meanwhile just distract myself, because it's such a time where there's a lot of emotions and stuff when there's change happening in a workplace, and people, for whatever reason, all come to me to talk about their various grievances and things. And so it's like an additional layer of just like emotional kind of labor, right? But I'd rather give it than not. All right, so that is a cute tag, and let's just ink around it a little, I think with some black soot. I've also been finishing up all my tasks to participate in my son's scouting. So I got my police check back and all that kind of stuff. Now I'm just waiting on a vulnerable sector check, which is another kind of more detailed police check that you have to do when you're working with either young people or older people in the vulnerable sector. So I wait on that. This lovely love, what are we going to do with her? She's going to be really big. Her legs are very huge, but I think if we were to make her, I could make a paper doll with her and then put her into like a folded position and tuck her into something. But we're going to have to make a dress for her of some kind. I do have this hanging around. This is like an old sketch from my sketchbook that I might make the dress with that. So I think I will cut this out. I mean, the other option is that, like, I don't have to make a paper doll with her. I could just, like, use these parts in a collage, but I think I will make a doll with her. And I might back these on the same brown paper that I make the dress from. I think, yeah, I've got another, oh yeah, that's an old sketch of, so this is like from, okay, so for those of you who aren't aware, I am also a fiber artist. I spin my own art yarn, and I used to crochet very kind of fine art hats that were used in, I mean, I sold them, but they were also used on in fashion shows on runways to go with couture. You know, they were kind of the decorative sort of aspect of the couture outfit. So this was a hat that I made. It was like really interesting, and basically I spun some gray wool into a bumpy yarn, and I made a very asymmetrical shaped kind of hat. And then I took twigs that came from a willow tree that I formed into a bird cage, and then I stitched them into, like, the bird cage that I made, it got stitched into the crochet of the art hat, and there were feathers inside and a small felted bird that went inside on a perch inside the hat. And I screwed in these like little metal pieces to allow the perch to swing inside the cage. So this is how I used to kind of do my planning for my design, just super rough, like a really, really rough illustration. And I had to think of a design concept like because the concept for the show was got attitude, so my idea was like hatitude but with feathers, make it flouncy. And I make a note here about emu feathers. It was a bird cage hat. Build the cage from sticks, brown rough natural handspuns, warble, crochet, model it on a mannequin, a sculptural shape, bendable sticks, go to the forest, wood circle bottom, rough wood. Yeah, so these are the kind of like notes that I used to make for these kind of projects. Yeah. But I just need a normal piece of this paper if I have one. Oh, I do. There it is. Okay. So that'll be my backing paper. Let's get back on track here. I should do like a slideshow or something of the stuff that I used to make, like a video slideshow of like the clocks that I used to make, the hats I used to make, the yarns I used to make all the time. Like a throwback to the decades of my creative life or something. That would be kind of fun, but we'll see when time allows for something like that. Meanwhile, I've got other stuff to do. So it's been, like I said, very snowy. So the kids, they had their first snow day on Thursday, and then Friday was Valentine's Day, and it was also a professional development day at the school. So they were off on the Friday as well. And then of course we have the weekend, and then Monday here in Canada is Family Day. So we have like a 5-day weekend for the kids. And I've just been listening to an audiobook that I've already read before, but I wanted to listen to the audiobook. It's Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer, an Indigenous educator. Highly recommend. Okay, so now we've got these legs. Arms. And her head with a collar here. Sort of go like that. So then I want to make a dress for her with this. Probably the best way to do that is to just put this here and decide how we will shape the dress. Sort of like coming down off of her bust. Like so. Yeah, that would probably be good. Cut inside my line. And then across the top here. I'll probably ink this up, but also I need to just work out how this whole thing will go. Yeah, this needs to be like vintaged up a little, I think. So we'll do that in a couple ways. Bit of ink. Coffee. Heat gun. So I'm kind of concerned. I've been hearing a lot about the H5N1 bird flu. I'm hoping that pretty soon we're going to start getting updates on that on a more regular basis. Once the US gets its act together about releasing scientific information. I know that we've seen in Canada, someone posted, like, relatively local to me, that they had found a bunch of Canada geese out on the ice on one of our lakes. One was dead and several were suffering, so they called the Ministry of Environment to come out, and yeah, it's pretty sad. But I'm a little concerned because, you know, the last time we had this kind of US presidential leadership, we were in the full-blown throes of COVID, and you know, he had mismanaged that so terribly in the United States. And now this, right, it's sort of like yeah, I could see a bit concerned, so we'll see how some of that goes. I know that they mentioned in an article that I read from the World Health Organization about, you know, it has spread to cattle, and after the cattle received it, there were a few cases that had transferred to the veterinarians that work in agriculture, but that the symptoms, there weren't any really. But you know, we don't like overconfidence here in this world. So essentially, I'm kind of waiting to see what that whole situation will pan out and look like, because yeah, it doesn't give me the good happy feelings at all. I know that they had been working on a vaccine for it already because they've known about it, so there's already been some progress, but I don't think it's like, you know, ready for the human market yet, that it's been widely tested or widely put out there. But thankfully, you know, places like the UK, Europe in general, who are unaffected by the drama of North American politics, on the most part, they are working on those kind of things independently. But I think for Americans, I know I hear an awful lot about the price of your eggs being very high. I would say so long as this is going unchecked, expect that to stay a thing, and possibly also affect beef production and any other animal products at this time. But definitely eggs from chickens, because currently I believe they're euthanizing like many thousands of chickens because of bird flu. So if you see an injured bird, please do not pick it up and handle it and, you know, take it home with you. Just call a professional, because you do not want to be exposed to this. And it's a reminder for myself even, because, you know, my first instinct when animals find me, as they often do, is like, oh, let me carry you around like a baby. We won't be doing that. Mm-mm. I follow Dr. Ruben Allergy on Instagram, and he has started a free Patreon where he's trying to kind of fill the gaps of this muzzle on science in the US. He's trying to fill the gaps by still getting recalls out there and things like that. Like, I've recently been reading a lot about, like, you know, the risks of this to the worldwide community. So the thing about when you repress information, scientific information that affects our food, like, there's already a lot of anti-American sentiment happening right now in Canada because of the tariffs and all of that. I'm hoping it just creates a more united Canada, to be honest, and that people don't get ugly. I think I would also remind people that we still love our American friends and family and small businesses, so let's not forget them. But when it comes to food, anything consumable, I would hesitate right now from buying American, because, not for political reasons, but for health reasons. Because, you know, pretty much on a daily basis, we hear about listeria and E. coli contaminations and things like that, and they've actually gotten a lot worse in the last 10 years, I would say. We hear a lot more about contamination, and I think, well, I don't think, I know that this comes from the environment of industrial farming, be it for plants or animals. Like, things like runoff and stuff like that can really cause havoc on the systems at play. So it's kind of a matter of public health right now that I'd say everyone be super careful as much as you can. But the sad thing is, you know, we don't all have that ability. I would say if you can shop, you know, as local as you can to the production of whatever you're consuming, I would try to do that. Not that all of us have that option, because it can be cost prohibitive. It can be prohibitive for people who, you know, can't access those things because of where they live, or they're unable to travel. But hopefully we see some common sense return before there's any kind of wider impact on people and animals, for that matter. Can't say I'm happy, though, honestly, seeing what's going on with the actions of Elon Musk and his, like, unlawful theft of American data and hacking all of the extremely important private systems. Can't say I'm happy that RFK just, you know, took over a role in health, that when we know that he's like a certifiable loon when it comes to medical advice. But, you know, it's those days, I guess, where people want to, I guess, try the system and see how it goes. So, consequences. But enough about that hullabaloo. I don't think I'll ever be like the kind of person who just won't talk about these things. I know a lot of folks come to this channel for crafting and stuff, and I'm still doing that. I'm still doing art. I'm still doing all my creative stuff, but I will also not be fully muzzled on world events. It's not healthy, right? We want to bury our heads in the sand and just let whatever go on and say nothing about it. And also, I think you should call out bad actors when you know they're there. Because I've always said I hate, like, complicity through silence and people just standing by. Here we go. This is all going to be a little more cohesive with this nice brown paper. Also hoping to get a bit of time to dye some paper this week. I've been really trying to knock out my to-do list though, so I shall see where the week takes me. Okay, so we're going to need 2, 3, 4, 5 little brads, I think. Here they are. I just got to shift my little cabinet around a bit. I think I need to order tiny brads. 1, 2. Is that silver? No. 3, 4, 5. And I'll set an extra one here just in case of calamity. Pokey tool. And where's my, here it is, this thing. Put away what we don't need. That's good. Okay, so first I think this, we'll do that, and I guess I'll brad that here. I spent the morning doing some sketching for my upcoming Journal Together Club digital kit for March. Okay, there's that. Then these, do we want to put them behind probably? That might be nicer, I think. So that. Get in there. All right. This is actually much cuter than I thought it was going to be. I like it. She's great. And then we'll put her pantaloons back here. Now, do we want them showing a little bit of pantaloon, or do we want this up here? I feel like we want a little bit of pantaloon showing. And that doesn't make her, you know, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman or anything. I think she's good. But she's just a little bit precocious. Okay. Right there's good. I need to ink that one leg a little bit though. I see a bit of white there. Okay. That's better. To all blend in. Okay, yeah, she's fun. You know, and to go in a smaller journal, right? You can just fold up the... Oh, you know, I need to trim, I think, these legs a little. You don't need this back part really anyways. Like, there's no benefit to it. So let's just chop that off. Be easier to manage. And then you can literally just fold her legs up and her arms in, you know, whatever way you need to fit her in your book. And she will fold up and tuck in, and that's kind of cute. And then you can write on the back, because I have covered it in brown paper, so it's like also a journal card. So we shall set her aside. I like her. Okay. Next. We have this fun postcard. I think I want to put something more on top of it though. I need to sort out. That would be cute. But she should be holding an umbrella, so she can't. Maybe. Oh, these kids. That could be cute. Yeah, they're smaller, so let's go with them. This over here. I think I finally have enough sketches ready. I'm trying to like make another collection of my little creatures for Etsy. I've been working on my sketches and Procreate, and I'm getting close. I like to release them in like packs of 12. If possible, so that it's a nice big collection. And then I'm also working on another really fun watercolor ledger collection. Where did that box go? Here it is. Okay. All right, let's cut this out. Also have this book that I'm using as my glue book, but it's got some really nice like little title illustrations in it. I might use that one on here, we'll see. I don't want to lose the posts, these two posts. They're so fun. I don't care about that squall in the background too much, but I just don't want to lose that. I do like the word underneath there, though. It's kind of cool. But I feel like if I used it, I'd want to use all of it, and then I don't want that name there. Marguerite Stern. Yeah, I think I'll glue that down. Then I'll find something to cover that name, and then put those kids on there. That's good. Just hit it with a bit of ink. I might need to add a little more ink on that ink pad soon. We'll see. Or maybe it's fine. Some nice old book spine. Here we go. I need to refill my art glitter glue. I meant to do that before this video, but we should be okay. So I was contributing to a Facebook post. I recently decided I'm not going to use Facebook anymore for much, except to communicate with people and participate in groups until there's a better option. But my local craft scrapbook store had made an insightful post about like how, you know, so in Canada, for those of you who aren't here in Canada, with this whole tariff thing, obviously the US is not ingratiating itself on its neighbors. It's very, I would say, greedy and short-sighted and unnecessary. But, you know, I think part of the plan is to make us as people turn against one another when governments make these kind of decisions. And I'm not going to do that. And so I've got plans to essentially boycott some American things, but not things that I feel like are going to be super impactful to either Canadian jobs or like American small businesses and people that I care about, right? That's fun. So that being said, a lot of people though are just like, I'm not buying anything US, I'm only shopping Canadian. Like there's a real backlash right now, as is expected. So my local scrapbook store was posting about the challenges of being able to provide Canadians with options, right, for paper and for craft supplies, because a lot of them are manufactured and imported in from the US. So, sorry, hydration. So she said, essentially, if I only carried Canadian product, I'd be pretty hard pressed to bring you a brick and mortar physical store, you know, to come to, because like there wouldn't be enough to stock the shelves, and also it just wouldn't work. So a lot of people were, you know, opining about these kind of things, and I think it's important to remember that when you all out boycott something, you've got to think of the downstream impact, right? Like, so, well, I totally agree we should, you know, you don't need to be buying from large American corporations to send a message. All of it I find really hard, because the thing is, if you think about it, right, here from a Canadian perspective, for a very long time, Canada has gotten, I'd say, quite lazy and unregulated as it relates to just allowing American chains to come in, and many American chains have come into Canada, and as a result we have lost a lot of Canadian chains. We used to have a lot more Canadian, like, large companies. You know, I'd say the number one big one that has really impacted Canada is Walmart, but I mean, it's having the same effect on downtown USA as well, right? We know about these globalist capitalism kind of issues, but what a lot of people don't think about in making these decisions is like behind each of those US brands, right, are a ton of Canadian jobs as well as a ton of regular American people jobs. Not all Americans, not even half of Americans voted the way that they voted. So, you know, I don't know. It's complicated for me. I try to run the kind of life of like minimal human impact if I can. And yeah, it's hard to watch such division among people. But I think if I can say anything to anybody who cares about all this stuff is like, don't turn your back on each other. Turn your back and protest against these awful people who are doing awful things. And certainly, if there are people in your life who voted and who support these things and they go against, you know, human rights and all these things, and that's important to you, I don't think you should live with a single bit of guilt for cutting them out, be it temporarily or permanently. I think sometimes that people have to realize the bed that they lie down in, you know, it's a consequences kind of world. I've been trying to teach my son a little bit about consequences lately, and it has not been fun, but it is what it is. We all have to kind of take responsibility for things. So, you know, what I said to her on her post is like, you know, I completely support where you're coming from. I think, you know, there's a lot of challenges as it relates to what businesses we support, how we go about this. And yeah, there wouldn't be any businesses if we did this kind of thing. Oh, I kind of like them there. If they were like sitting on a bench in front of this store. I think because they're like smiling in a jovial, laughing kind of way. That would be cute. Let's do it. So it's also sad because, you know, the Joann's sort of bankruptcy situation that's going on. We've seen the same thing with Michael's. You know, AC Moore no longer exists. I personally would never shop at Hobby Lobby because there's just too many issues with their political anti-human rights objectives as well, that they would never get my money. Yeah, it's hard. It's getting harder to get like art supplies, and you know, I'm trying to not shop on Amazon. They're losing my money because of how they're acting. That one's not too hard for me. I think that the reliance on Amazon has become something that was born out of like the pandemic. A lot of people, you know, couldn't get things and whatnot, and you know, I would still use them in those scenarios, or if I can't get it somewhere else, or, you know, if it's a smaller business that I support and that's the marketplace that they have to use. Like, again, it's about thinking, right? Like, think with your money. Don't be flippant, but also think with your money. Because real change can come from that. I don't want to cover that trillium. I just quite like how that looks. I almost wish I could cut it out and sort of shove them behind there and not lose anything, but I'd lose one of those little kids, and I like those little kids. Unless, no, because it would be too far under. So if that was above him and his face went there, you know what I want to try to do? I think it would be cute to cut this out. Don't need the stem. You like put that here. I just got to think, do I want book page text back here or something else? I have this pencil sketch that could also be cute. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to do... I might cut out this trillium and then give the whole thing a backing. So why don't we back this first? Just back it on some book page so it's got some strength, and then we'll back the whole thing. Yeah. Oh, that's a cute image. Let's keep that. Collage. Fodder scraps. I need to have like a using up the scraps kind of day, because yeah, it's getting a little wild. I was watching Gail Agostinelli's Scrappy Saturday this morning and thinking, I need a Scrappy Saturday. I sure do. I mean, I guess I could do that on my Sunday Patreon live stream. We could make scrap things. Okay. Little fussy cutting in here, but not too bad. Fun this week sending out a few happy mails, and believe it or not, I am already getting a bit of work done on Junk Journal Round Robin that I'll be hosting with Shell's Creative Chaos and Red Parrot. In April, for the whole month, we'll be doing those videos. So if you would like to take part, I'd recommend getting started soon. Find yourself a couple of partners to do this with. Now, do we like this background? I think I do, actually. Okay, so let's glue this down first. So you're going to find yourself a couple partners. If you're a YouTuber, try to find other YouTubers. That would be fun. It's going to be hashtag JJ Round Robin again. And what you're going to do is essentially you're creating like 2 advent calendars for your friends. So 30 days worth of, goodies that you open, one a day, and you've got 2 partners. So that means you open 2 packages a day, and then you're going to use those 2 sets of things together. So maybe one person would send you this and another person would send you that, and you would take them and build what I'm building here, and yeah, have fun with it. All right. Just want to get a good angle on this. I was kind of wondering, yeah, right there would be good. I want to keep most of that trillium there. That's also a really nice way. So, I know a lot of people are sensitive about using photography. They prefer to use illustrations only, cut from books and things, or photographs, but like they have trouble with photography. Like, here's a nice way to make, a really cute embellishment with a photograph. I like how that turned out. So I'm going to clip the excess off here. And then we need to back this because the paper it's on is thin and we want it to be strong. So I will back this on folder because it's like good for the weight, and it's not going to make it overly heavy because I did back the other 2 things. And then I'm going to come in with the chopper here. I got to put that brad back. I didn't end up needing. There we go. Okay. I've also been watching What have I been watching? I've been watching really fun videos from I Totally Love It. She's doing a junk journal, like what's going on in the world of junk journal news kind of video. And I found it because she was so kind as to tag me in cover my Mag Chop and Flop series. I know she hosts a lot of cool challenges and stuff, so check her out. I Totally Love It. Turtley, turtle with a Y. She's very, very cool. And I've been watching, of course, Red Parrot and Shell's Creative Chaos, who've been participating in all sorts of things. I haven't been participating this month. I've just needed a little break from participating in challenges, but they've been participating in Februlage, and Shell has started a fun little series called like Spreading the Love, and she's sharing other people's channels that she really enjoys, and that's awesome. And I know that Red Parrot has been doing the scavenger hunt from Caged Fish. It's like a junk journal scavenger hunt, and that's been fun. What else have I been watching? You know who I'm missing, though? I'm missing Catherine Brown Art from Sunnyside Journals. I hope she comes back to us soon. I miss her. Okay. Now we have this bird. We have the ever-loving dilemmas of birds, right? I've got to find out what bird do I use. I think this one maybe for this one, because it's got more going on. It'll be an easier make. And you know, I just realized, guys, we still have all those bits to use. I'm going to need to get like focal points, I think, together. And we'll collage and we'll use some fun focal points. I'm half tempted to use like Tim Holtz or whatever people, like I'll pull out some people and some critters and things, and we'll do that. Now this, it's so pretty. What to do? I think I like this side better. And I think I can make like 2 pieces, right? With this, we could cut that off there and not be too offensive to anyone. Bring that a little smaller. Okay, and then over here, I'll bring that down because we don't need that bird's butt. And then here, I'll just take all this excess off. So that's going to give us this and this. And then this. We have bird things. Okay. Let's take the third box that I got in my paper collection here that I bought. Oh, and ironically, this is like a chicken box. Let's not offend the birds here, but it is what it is. I'm going to just cut up the middle here. There you go. I'm just going to grab my cutter. It'll be faster. Although it might be a little herky-jerky, we'll see. I do get a little herky-jerky using this thing sometimes because it can be hard to cut. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Then, the other side. Can we do it? Let's see. Perfect. Chop this off. I mainly just want the 2 big usable pieces. All right. So let's glue these down. So I was thinking about what I want to do for March. I was going to do my mass make March. I didn't do it last year, and I see that some other YouTubers kind of picked it up and went with it, which is okay. But I was also thinking about maybe a mixed media March, because I've been like thinking a lot about how I have a lot of products for making mixed media, paints and pastes and crackles and such, that like I don't use enough, right? And those are the kind of products that they've got a shelf life. So I might go through them, and I might spend some time, like this weekend. I might think about like a list of different kinds of projects I could do. I don't know that I want to do it like a daily, but I would do maybe a weekly. I just don't feel like committing to a daily video right now. I want to, like, I'll probably still make content most days, but I want the flexibility to not have to like be on a schedule. And I could make a really great mixed media like prompt list. I know I could, but again, I am not retired, sadly. I have many years ahead of me before that day comes. Maybe it will never come. Okay. There's that. Now, got a bubble there. I can see it. There we go. Perfect. Let's give that a flatten too. And then the little one, let's see. Would that be like cute on here? Oh, I think so. Yeah. So this obviously will need backing. It's kind of wrinkly, but I like that on there. We'll just give this a little ink. I just had to change my battery. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm just gonna, I got this inked, and now I'm just gonna glue it. I've got the card we're putting it on. I just backed it onto some folder while I was waiting for the camera to reassociate with my phone here. So let's get that on. Good. And we will cut this out. All right, now let's ink the edges here. And I think I'll probably stitch around this. I'll do all my stitching last, though, to just not interrupt us while we're on a roll here. Then I might grab like a little set of Denizen labels. A couple of them right there, or just one. Maybe just one. These were a fun part of my most recent, my February journal together kit. I had some nice little Denizen labels on my Patreon, of course. Okay, there's that. Then these, I want to keep these kind of simple, but I want to add like a little something or other. Too big to be a snippet. I need little snippy, labely kind of things, which I have many of. Unfortunately, they're off camera, so you can't see them. That one would be good there, maybe. Then I'm just kind of fishing around in my bits and bobs. I would bring them in so you could see them, but I can't. It's too big of a container I keep them in. Yeah, that would be good. It kind of gives it like a postcard feel. So I think I'll just realized I've got you guys in kind of close today. I apologize for those of you who prefer to be pulled out a little more. We're up close and personal today. So I tried this new Canadian brand of coffee called Salt Winds. It's made in the Maritimes and it's really good. I got their chocolate orange. Hold on. Sorry, my glue keeps trying to nosedive because it's too empty. The bottle is like weirdly top heavy or something. Yeah, so it was a chocolate orange. It was really yummy. It's a little pricier, but it's comparable to like Kicking Horse or something like that too. Same kind of cost. Okay, so move these. I want to do a nice like heavier ink with brown, because these pages did come out of a nice vintage bird book. I just want to bring that nice brown back in, and yeah. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to take a quick little break to grab some focal points, which will take no time at all for you. All right, so I think what I'm going to use as my focal points are going to come out of this Lucy Atwell's annual book. It's from 1974, and it's some cute old pictures of just really cute scenes. So I think we'll get started. This, you know what? I just want to leave this one like as is, I think, but I want to put like a little something on the front. But it doesn't need to come out of this book. I think it could just be some kind of a snippet that I've got in my bin here. Hold on. So this one I'll take a detour for a minute. We'll take a little detour. And I think that could be cute. Yeah, let's go with that. That's nice. All right. Now what I want to do with this though is I've got my little hole punch here, and this is meant to be like a stamp. So see, I'm going to punch these out, these little holes here. It doesn't take too long, I don't think. I could take a little break and do it. All right, there we go. It's all punched out. I did not torture you with that. Okay, and we'll just kind of give it a bit of a ink a little heavily. There we go. And this, just glue down. Right here. So it's got a little something on the front there, but I just think it makes a nice bit of writing space with all that great collaging. It's fun. Okay, so that one's good. Now let's find something for this. All right, so we need to obviously back all of these too. Why don't I back all of them and come back? Alrighty, so these are backed, and I've changed my mind about the Lucy Atwell's book. I don't think I want to use that. I've instead pulled from the things that I've got in my stash, and I want to just make like, these are my illustrations, these are Tim Holtz dolls and a Tim Holtz house. So let's get started. I think I want to put him on here, and then I also wanted to go into my word snippets and things. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna take this verse here. This says, I cannot sing the old songs I sang long years ago, for heart and voice would fail me, and foolish tears would flow. For bygone hours come o'er my heart with each familiar strain. I cannot sing the old songs or dream those dreams again. It's kind of a cool verse about, like, you know, kind of moving on. And he's got a suitcase and some flowers there, so who knows what he's up to. Then I'm going to get some scraps to collage with too. Maybe a bit of that would be good. Just bits and bobs here. Okay, so let's start by inking this a bit. Set these ones aside. I don't want to ink it too heavily. I just want to generally tone that white down a bit. I also need to get another glue stick. I've gone to the gouging stage with this one. Or we're gouging glue out of here. That's okay. I don't think it takes really all that much longer. It's the same kind of thing. Okay. That right there. Then if he's going to go here, kind of like these stars with him. Maybe a bit of this too. That. Yeah, that's cute. Okay. So I don't know how long this video is going to be. I think I've gotten swept into a few different projects. Oh, that's okay. Which way do I want that to go? This way? Yeah. I'm going to be working a little later today, I think, on making some fun sort of future digital bits, but things that I want to use in an upcoming kind of artsy themed journal I want to make. I'm still kind of getting it out of my brain. I haven't fully formed what I want to do yet, but it's coming along. Oops. Okay. Yay, I like that. Okay, next one. Got this blue maybe, and then maybe we'll use the house on this one because it kind of is like a blue sky. That would be good. I'm not going to go all the way to the end because I know I have to cut some of this off. So if you like Tuesday 10 and you would like more of an opportunity to have these long chatty kind of videos with me, just so you're aware, on all levels of my Patreon on Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern time, for Patreon only, I have been doing live streams. So the fun thing with live streams is that, you know, you can join the chat and chat with me while we're sitting here crafting together. It's been a nice been fun so far. I cannot sing the old songs, their charms so sad and deep, their melodies would waken. I don't want it so sad. So sad. The rest of this is kind of sad. I don't want to do sad. Not right now, but I do want to find some kind of glass garden. That looks fun. That would be nice if I had like you know what I have is I have where are they here? In one of my various ephemera holding things, I've got some cool stuff. Those are rub-ons. That could be cool. Not what I'm looking for though. Here we go. This. I knew I had some of those in there. So these are acetate stickers. Just gonna peel the backing. Easier said than done at times with acetate stickers. You know, it's bad when you're like, maybe I should take a pause. There we go. All right. The nice thing though with acetate stickers is that when you do get the backing off, they stick down really nicely, and they like, you can really get a nice feel, a nice flat piece with them. This one's not too shiny either, which is good. There we go. And then I'll take this label that says Glass Garden. It's just kind of poetic and nice. Be right there. Okay. Do we want that to be a tag maybe? Yeah. Perfect. Okay, next is this one. And I think I'll put this big guy on here. So let's ink around them. And do we want to collage a little maybe? Also this fun rainbow. Yeah, that could be cute. All right, let's just glue some things down here. Let's see if I can get through the rest of this video without having to go get a glue stick. So I bought myself this week a car CD player. There's this really fun local shop that I like to go to, and it's like a music shop, and the guy's really cool. Like, he sells a lot of vinyl, which is primarily what I get there, but he also has like CDs and tapes and all sorts. He's like a, you know, an all things eclectic music kind of guy, and I'm a big fan of physical media. I love physical media. I hate that most of what we do has gone to some cloud-based solution, although I'm mostly grouchy about this because of the discontinuation of the iPod and MP3s, like MP3 players, like I feel like, you know, when it first happened that Apple released the iPod, I wasn't sold on it because, again, it felt like a cloud-based solution where I didn't own what I was, you know, buying and putting on there. So I never bought music from the Apple Store. I would always buy CDs, you know, whatever, records. And I'm so glad that I did that because, you know, most people lost their whole Apple library at some point. A lot of people did. I know that when they've done these different various upgrades. And, you know, sometimes it's like something you can resolve and sometimes it simply isn't. And I just didn't like that concept. So I didn't do that. I did get an MP3 player eventually. And I would like, you know, transfer my files into MP3s from my own media and put it on there. And then I really got into my iPod. I loved it. I had like an 80 gig iPod. I was like loving it. But then, you know, Apple like then decides to discontinue the iPod, which baffled me. I was like, what? You know, it's like how do we, you know, listen to our music? Now it's expected that you have to like listen to music on your phone. And for me, I don't like doing that because I don't want to have all those files on my phone. I also don't want to use data to listen to like Spotify or something. Yeah, it just gets on my nerves. So I bought myself an old-fashioned, my own CD player. That might be cute. Oh, I like that one. Okay. This is a little Tennyson verse from, again, my Journal Together kit on Patreon. I did a whole poem, a whole page of Tennyson verses. Okay, do we want to put anything behind her? I do kind of like that nice divide of her. Like, this, though, could be kind of cool up here. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So let's pull a piece of this off to go across here. Okay. I love Vicky Bouton paper. It's so pretty, especially like her art themed papers. I always love them. But I do still have my iPod and I do still listen to the music I loaded on it 100 years ago. I don't like iTunes. I don't really feel like it's a very functional application for syncing music. Even podcasts I find it's just like not that easy to use. I used to love it though because I'd be able to have all my podcasts on my iPod, you know, listen to them while I was out walking or running or whatever, and then come home, and when you plugged in your iPod, it would like sync and it would show like what ones were already listened to, so like it would all, you know, kind of collaborate. But it doesn't work like that anymore, so it makes me grouchy. I need maybe this. I was thinking yellow, but I'll use this. Want something non-fussy to do mark making with here. I went thrifting yesterday. My daughter found a bunch of art markers for herself, which was nice, and they work really well, and they're like really nice, a really nice set of them, like professional illustrator kind of markers. Okay, that's good. Now let's just ink the edge maybe on this side because the other edges are inked. Okay, this one is the last one, so let's ink up our bunny friend here. Even though there's a ton of snow, I've been feeling a little spring inspired lately. Someday we'll see spring, although I'm actually, oddly, I usually don't really want a whole lot of snow. I don't want to deal with snow, but I think it has something to do with my mindset. Like I guess I used to always be a really busy person, and snow is like just, you know, it gets in your way when you want to get out and do things. But I've become more of a homebody in recent times, and I think that, like, that being said, I now like snow because I feel like it is isolating. It offers safety and sanctitude. Ooh, that's so beautiful, the Princess Margaret. The Princess Margaret. That's nice. I don't know if I want that. I desperately need to use scraps. Oh my goodness. It's just getting a little wild. I kind of like that there. Yeah. It's very simple, but I like it. Just adds an extra little sparkly kind of element because the paper is this fun gilded embossed shiny paper, and I like how it goes on there. Just gotta trim it a little. Okay, this can go away. Okay, so I think I will do my stitching, and then I'll come back and we'll look at everything that we made. I think we made a lot of stuff today. I definitely am kind of like, wow, maybe there's a lot going on today. I'm gonna stitch some lace, I think, on the top of that, and that'll be fun. Okay, friends, believe it or not, we made 15 pieces. So this one I stitched around, added the lace. This one, that was just a simple, fun one. And then, of course, our doll. She's so pretty. Love it, love it. That little card. And then her with the mark making in Tennyson. I stitched around with zigzag. Then, of course, this little creature I just stitched around simply. And then the glass garden. Added some fun fabric up here and a little plasticky leaf stem. This one I just zigzagged. Single stitch on that tag. I think that red and pink thread I have in my sewing machine really added a little element to this. Then the bird postcards, or postcard style. This one. Stitched around that one with the Dutch Dreams. I thought that was a lot of fun. And then these two. So that was a pretty productive little make, I think. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're doing well, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye for now.